You would worry much less what people thought about you if you realised how little they actually did. It's so true. G'day, how are ya? Morning walk episode something. Gotta say, I've been to some pretty spectacular places in Australia, but Pender Bay, and specifically Pender Bay Escape, which is like just this desolate, lonely, isolated campground in Western Australia on the Cape Leveque Peninsula. This has got to be pretty close to the top. That's our bedroom. Caravan sitting right on top of that like little point over there. Sound of the ocean in your ears all night. Deserted beaches to walk along. Life's pretty good. Thanks for joining me. Let's go for a wander. Such a privilege to come and visit a place like this. Last night, like the stars were extraordinary. We brought out our little telescope and pointed it up at the moon. Looking at the craters. It's just this sort of sense of solitude and gives you a perspective of how huge the universe is and how small we are. It's funny because in experiencing that vastness, that solitude, that peace, rather than making you feel small and insignificant, which it does, but it also makes you feel special. Because the chance of us actually being here on Earth and you being alive are like 1 in a trillion billion, you know? Because firstly, like, our planet had to somehow circle the sun in the right place, the universe had to be created, life had to start here. I mean, the chances of that are just like, forget about it, right? And then, I hate to say this, but your mum and dad had to do something like that. The chances of you being here, one little wiggly sperm and one little egg, are like 1 in a billion, right? Or 1 in a trillion billion, I don't know, infinitesimally small. And when you multiply those two things together, like, the chance of just being alive is like nothing. And that's what makes this so special. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I think we worry too much. If you've had experienced that amazing feeling of peace, you start to realise that once you're going to have basics covered, like a roof over your head and food, everything else becomes less important. I haven't got a job to go back to, but I'm kind of at ease with that. I'm at peace with it. Now, okay, to be granted, I'm pretty fortunate because I've run a multi-million-dollar business, which I started from scratch, have a lot of knowledge now, a lot of contacts and everything, so it's easy to go and start something else. But having travelled all over Australia, there's work all over this country. Like, literally, you go to any town and there's work to be done. As long as you're happy to work, like, if you want to be just like getting paid a fortune to sit on your butt and do stuff or do something that's super interesting, like, yeah, that's more difficult. Then you're starting to get into like picky territory, right? Like, I want to choose what I want to do. But that's different. That's different to like survival. And there's work everywhere, so you can earn a living. Honest question, how much time do you spend worrying what other people are thinking about you? You know, whether it's your mum and your dad or your friends or your brothers and sisters, whoever, like your workmates. Such a big one. Like, what do they think of me? What does my boss think of me? I picked up this incredible piece of wisdom from an audiobook. A kid's audiobook, Friday Barnes. Amazing thing to go and listen to. And it says, you would worry much less what people thought about you if you realised how little they actually did. It's so true. We spend all our time worrying, thinking that we're so important, we're the center of the universe. Yeah, we're the center of our universe. We're not the center of everybody's universe. So you can take the pressure off. Nobody's thinking of you all the time. Unless you're Gary Vaynerchuk. Very well aware that this is all coming from someone who's in a position of quite a lot of relative privilege, right? Live in an amazing free country like Australia, plenty of countries on earth where you don't have a lot of control, where you're not free. But if you're living in a country where you're free, I don't know, outside of that, that sort of thought about the universe and being small and insignificant, like, that's not a thought to make you feel like you're worthless. It's actually a thought to make you realize just how special you are, how privileged you are just to be alive, and how you're free to then choose to do whatever it is that you're going to do with this time that you have here on earth. Because it does go fast. It goes super fast. Just go ask any 70 or 80 or 90-year-old or 40-year-old. Little piece of coral. So we shouldn't waste our time thinking about stupid shit. Like what other people think about us. Because really, you wouldn't worry so much what other people think of you if you realised how little they actually did. Whatever you're all getting up to today, I hope it's a good one. Thanks for joining me for an awesome morning walk here at Pender Bay. I'll see you next time on the morning walk. I'm Rob Malicki.